Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the remainder theorem. Um, we're going to tell you what it is, what it's used for, and do an example as well just to show you how to use it. Before we talk about that though, there's a few words that I want to define just to make sure everyone understands what those words are. And those are the four words that are used to describe the four parts of any division that you will ever do. Let me do a quick division on the side here so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to divide the number 22, for example, by 7. Okay, so 7 goes into 22 three times. 3 times 7 is 21. We're going to subtract 21 from 22. You get 1. There's nothing left to bring down, and so that is the answer. Let me define the four words that we're going to talk about. The thing we divided, the 22, that is called the dividend. The number we're dividing by, in this case the 7, that's called the divisor. The answer that we got, the 3, that's called the quotient. That is the answer to any division question. And the final part, the remainder that we got, well, that's just called the remainder. Okay, so just understand what those four words mean and what they refer to, because that's important. So now, in this example, we're going to be using the remainder theorem. And what the remainder theorem is, what I want you to think about is the way I like to think about it. It's just a little trick that you can use whenever you've got to divide one polynomial by another. And you don't really care about the quotient that much. You don't care what the answer is. What you really care about is the remainder. Right? So most divisions, especially polynomial divisions, they're a lot of work. You've got to do a whole lot of calculations to come up with the answer. But if you don't want the answer, if you don't want the quotient, and all you want is the remainder theorem is a little trick that helps you find the remainder very quickly, instead of having to do all that work. And all the remainder theorem says is if you want to find the remainder when you divide a certain dividend by a certain divisor, all you got to do is take the divisor, which in this case is x minus 2, set it equal to 0 and solve. Of course, the minus 2 goes over to the other side and becomes 2. So x is equal to 2. The remainder theorem says all you got to do is take this 2 and plug it into the dividend, plug it into every single x in the dividend. There's 3 of them. And then calculate the answer. And whatever that answer is, that's the remainder that you would have got if you had actually gone ahead and done the whole division. So let's find out what the remainder is. Remainder. So I'm going to plug the 2 into each of those x's. So it's going to be 2 cubed plus 7. I'm going to replace this x with also with a 2 minus 9. I'm going to replace that x with a 2 plus 1. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. 2 to the power of 2 is 4 times 7 is 28. Minus 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 1. If you plug all that in your calculator, you're going to get 19. That's what the remainder is going to be. Right, so that's a lot easier than having to actually divide this big dividend by the divisor. Now, just to check our work, let's actually go ahead and do the long division and see if the remainder is actually going to be 19, as we have predicted with the remainder theorem. So here we go. Here we're going to divide it. We're going to divide x cubed plus 7x squared minus 9x plus 1. So I've got another video in which I've actually done a full description and a full example of polynomial long division. Well, I will leave a link in the description below, so if you want to check that video out, but I'll do this one as well. So x goes into x cubed, x squared times. X squared times x is x cubed minus 2x squared. And I'm going to subtract x cubed minus x cubed is nothing. 7x squared minus negative 2x squared is 9x squared. Then we're going to bring down this negative 9x. Divide again. This x goes into 9x squared 9x times. Then we're going to multiply the 9x by this entire divisor. 9x squared minus 18x. And then we've got negative 9x subtract negative 18x. That's going to be 9x. And then we have another number that needs to be brought down. That's this plus 1 right here. Then we're going to divide again. X goes into 9x 9 times. And then we multiply the 9 by the divisor, and we get 9x subtract 18. Then we're going to subtract positive 1 subtract negative 18 is positive 19. There's nothing left to bring down, and so that is the answer. Here's the quotient up here, the x squared plus 9x plus 9, but we weren't interested in the quotient. What were we interested in? We were interested in the remainder, and as you can see, that's the same remainder that we got with the remainder theorem earlier. It's the same number, but when we used the remainder theorem, we got it really quickly just by plugging in, doing a quick calculation, and getting the answer. We didn't have to do all this work. There was a lot more work that we had to do over here than by using the remainder theorem. And that's how the remainder theorem is used and what it does. So if you found this explanation helpful, please click the like and subscribe buttons to be notified about future videos. We've also included links in the description below where you can find other videos related to this one, and also to contact us and send us any questions you may have. Thanks for watching. Bye.